This is the door to my basement. Last year, I started some construction down there, and at that time, I put this door on temporarily so that my cats wouldn't like get all up in the construction zone and also escape out the back door when I was like bringing stuff in and out. It's been a while now and this door is still here, but it's still looking very temporary. The other thing is that my cat's litter box is downstairs in the basement, and so I have to leave this open, and I just like prop it open with a random rock here. It's fine. It could be better though. So today I want to just make this door kind of blend in, and part of that is going to be making a little cat door for my cat, Chai. I was looking at buying a cat door online, and they're all either like really ugly or very expensive. And so I thought I would give it a shot myself. I could just cut a hole in the door and call it a day for free, but I want to try and make it look adorable. So I'm gonna try and replicate like this door style as the cat door. Just stand here just for 1 second. Come here. Come here. Come on. Okay, you're about... I should know better. I have to go to where she decides. About 11 inches tall. You can get down to like 9. All right, that's it. So if I want the door to be the same proportion, so it looks like a little door, the door is 28 by 79. I think I want to make the cat door 10 inches tall. That seems like a good height for my baby girl. She can like crunch down a little bit, but she doesn't have to like really squeeze under. So if I want to do that, 3.5 inches wide. Not my cat. I guess that makes sense since cats and people are not at all the same proportion. Lesson learned. Okay, I'm gonna just eyeball it. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. All right, I want to test this out and see how it looks. Oh man. It's gonna be way too cute. All right, so the template looks like how I want it to look on the door. So I'm gonna start kind of mapping it out on the piece of wood. See those lines on there? So they've been transferred enough that I can now mark over them with marker. All right, I think I'm done for today because I need to take this out to the garage and it's nighttime and I don't have good lighting out there. So I'm gonna just wait till tomorrow, but I think it's good progress. I'm happy with day one. Okay, it's the next day. I'm in my garage and I want to try and figure out how to do like the carved panels in the front of this little door. So they need to be kind of like inset. And originally I wanted to just cut these out, cut them slightly smaller and then put them back in, and then that would leave a gap where the lines are. And it would kind of just like fake that carved look. But this wood is pretty thick. I mean, it's a very thin plywood, but it's thick to cut with a like X-Acto knife, which would be the cleanest way to do that. I tried it with a box cutter yesterday. That was pretty difficult. So I'm going to experiment with a couple different options. I thought first I would try to just carve it, like chisel out those grooves along the lines here, and see if that works. I'm a little skeptical because this is, like I said, plywood, so that may not work very well depending on how deep I have to go. But that's what I'm going to try first and then take it from there. So that'll be the outside, and then I'm just making another slightly inset line. It's not laying super flat. Okay, I have this very heavy bucket of clamps. That's better. Okay, and then I just want to make like a slight slope down from this inner line. So it does have that general shape that I'm going for, but as you can see, it's like pretty rough. So I think to try and replicate that for 6 little panels, it would end up looking a little bit messy, but it could work. So I'm gonna try another method. So the other idea I had was to use this coping saw and like drill a pilot hole into the corner of the little panel that I want to saw out, and then just like detach this blade, put it in, and saw that out. This is a very fine, thin blade, so I feel like that could work. Let's give it a shot. I'll just jam it in there. There we go. This already seems like it's gonna be impractical. Oh my goodness. Oh my god, this is going terribly. Okay, this is stupid. Alright, that was a huge pain in the butt, but I got it reattached and I'm gonna just give it a shot since I went through all of that. Okay, well, I'm fucking it up. Alright. There's no way I'm gonna do this or that it's gonna look good if I did. So, bailing on that. Okay, well, that was about... I live by an airport. Thank you. Okay, so that did not work at all. The only other idea I had was to, one, I could either just like cut this all on a table saw and then piece them back together and fill the cracks. but I don't like that idea. I think it'll look messy. The other idea I had was to just use like a regular jigsaw and cut these out. But if I do that, I would end up needing to scrap the inside piece, in which case I'd have to like replicate the inside piece to achieve that look that I want, which would be fine. It would just be more work. So I think I'm going to chisel them. Well, I think I'm going to do that. All right, so now that I've decided I'm going to chisel out the detail on the door instead of cut these squares out, I no longer want this to be so thin. I'm going to transfer this template onto this piece of scrap wood that I found in my garage. It just has some like weird texture on the back, but this side is fine. And I think I'm not going to make this door like functional. It's just going to stay open. So that's not a problem. So I think I'm going to cut this to size first, and then I will start the chiseling process. Okay, I've got this clamped down. This is the only surface I really have that I can clamp it to. I've got everything marked out. I'm going to go through all of the outside edges and do my vertical cuts down, and then I'll come back through and do the sloped part of this whole thing. Okay, here we go. Okay, I've got this clamped down. This is the only surface I really have that I can clamp it to. All right, so I'm just lining the edge of this up with the line I made. And just like very gently chiseling it away. It turned out so cute. I really like that it's just solid wood, and I think instead of painting it to match the door, I'm gonna stain it and see how that looks. It just seems like such a shame to paint this, and I think it would stand out as like even more of a miniature door if it was stained. Okay, I'm set up down in my basement to just test a few different shades of stain. I got this scrap piece of wood from the same board that I cut the door from, and I put a bunch of chisel marks in here so I can see how the stain looks on both surfaces. Oh, yeah, that's bad. It's like completely solid. I can't even scoop any up. So, guess that one's out. I think I like the top one most. That was the gel stain and polish. I think the two middle ones are a pretty uneven stain, and I could condition the wood before I stain it, which would help, but I'm impatient and I kind of just want to get this done today. And they're not my favorite of the colors anyways. The bottom one is like exactly the same as my floor, which is nice in that it matches, but I don't actually love that wood tone. It's more like orangey. So I think I like the top one. Supposed to like generously put this on here and let it sit for a few minutes. Like really work it into the grain. And then you like buff it out. And it has wax in it, so it is also its own finish, I guess. Oh my God. It's so good. It has a really nice finish to it, and I like the color a lot. Once I get hardware on it, it's gonna be so perfect. Okay, so while the door is drying, I'm gonna start on this next part, which is to cut the hole in the bottom of the door and figure out how to like finish that nicely, because the door is definitely hollow. I don't know at what point it becomes hollow, but I'll probably have to like trim out the inside of the cut that I make. So I'm gonna take the door off the hinges, take it downstairs, and start to kind of figure that out. Okay, this is the final day of this little build. I was so excited to see how this was going to look. I woke up and went directly downstairs to finish this up before work, which is why I'm still in my bathrobe. This is some pre-coffee wood staining you're witnessing right here. So I just did a few touch-ups, then I brought the door up and put it back on the hinges. There were a couple little paint touch-ups that had to happen on the door, so I took care of those real quick. Although it looks like I missed a few spots, I'll need to come back. I was rushing because I was too excited for the next step. And there's the finished door. I love how it turned out. I think it's so cute, minus the backside. I didn't plan to have it actually close and function that way, so I'm okay with it for now. I may finish the backside if I decide I want to be able to close it. But for now, it's just going to stay open and be adorable. And speaking of adorable, come on through. What do you think, baby? Is it a little bit weird? You can do it. I know you can do it. It took her a while to warm up to it, but eventually she did make it through.